A couple of other audio cut-ups I wanted to play with you here are Tyler Lockett talking a little bit about this scheme. And I thought that these were two little interesting cut-ups that he spoke upon that, again, give us a little bit of an understanding and idea of this offense and what it's trying to do and where they're trying to go and how they're trying to get there, so to speak. So let's play these clips here for you.
And I think this year, as we kind of learn the offense, it's a lot different than the offenses that I've been a part of in, the 9 years that I've played. I think that Grubb has a lot of flexibility when it comes to the usage of the players that he wants to be able to utilize, how he wants guys to be able to get open. I think there's some cool schemes in there that sometimes you don't see unless you kind of do your alternate stuff in Madden, when you got to alternate routes. So it's kind of cool to be able to see a little bit of the way that they think, and it makes sense why they went to the championship, if you ask me, because it's so difficult to be able to guard the way that they pass the ball in their schemes. But then when teams think they figured it out, you got a running back that could be able to rush for 1,000 yards and still be able to take the pressure off the passing game. So I think for us, it's just first down. If we can be able to get first downs, I think the offense can be able to show a lot of things that haven't been seen before, but we got to be able to move the sticks.
A couple of things within that. Never played an offense like this before. Shows you a little bit of this is not, well, it's kind of like last year's offense. We have this baked in and that built in and this is put in. And so there's some written. I've never played an offense like this before. I've said a lot, and it doesn't, I think, do a good job probably of capturing the spirit of this offense, but it's the whole kind of closest thing that I can get to in describing it, in that you have offenses that oftentimes set out to do specific things to a defense. A West Coast offense from its traditional mold is looking to set up the run by passing first. First quarter, historically speaking, before the West Coast offense, first down, you're getting a run. You're getting a run at a highly predictable rate. West Coast offense comes in and, okay, now we're going to throw instead of run. And we're not throwing like we throw in other ways. We're trying to push the ball down the field. We're going to throw the 4 or 5 yard pass, get the ball into our receiver's hand, and allow him to use his yak, run through space. And if he only gets 5 yards, well, hey, 5 yards and a catch is better than the average of the 4 yards in a run. That's your West Coast offense, right? It's got a specific way it's looking to hit you on the field. Can it go deep? Can it throw an occasional over the top? Yeah. But where is it going to really live? Right on in here. And how's it going to live there? Mainly on the passing attack, usually first and foremost before finding back the running game. And the running game opens up because teams start to become concentrated on the passing attack. Take our old offensive scheme. We're going to hammer the A-gap. Power. Inside. Duo. We're coming downhill. You know we're coming. I know you know we're coming. We're still coming. We're going to come down and we're going to bang. We're going to hammer you. We're going to just keep hitting that wall. And it's a cement wall, but every time we hit it, a couple little just crackles and flakes of concrete fall off every time we hit it. And you know what? We keep hitting it like that. Eventually, we're going to cause you to bring a safety up, and eventually we can hit you up over the top. I've got a very purposeful way I'm looking to attack you from an offensive structured standpoint. There are other things built within, but that is always the overlay over the top of everything else. So things with a purposeful approach to where they're attacking in a specific way in which they are attacking. But the thing that stands out with Coach Grubb is that when you watch the Washington offenses, they attack you everywhere. It can be behind the line of scrimmage. It can be 50 yards down the field. It can be routes to go for chunk plays. It can be just to death by 1,000 cuts, dink and dunk. And as Tyler said, come back and hit you then with the running game. He mentioned the Madden thing, which I laughed a little bit at in the talking about the routes. And there's a little bit of route rigidity you'll get in some of these playbooks when you play either in a Madden or right now I'm sure many of you are playing the NCAA college football game, as I am. I'm enjoying it a lot. But you get in, you'll get your playbook and you get these routes and you'll get to a down and distance or route you want to run. And you can't find the route where you want to run it against this, and you're going through the plays, and you're like, God, it's just, you feel, it's rigided up. I can't go to it. And then you'll get to the play, and you'll call it anyway. And as he come to the line of scrimmage, and then you'll just adjust your receiver where he's running this stick route, and you switch him off to a slant, and then it's wide open. You've created it within the play. It's sort of like Grubb creates that within his plays, of that adjustment always there within it, so that it's not as rigid in its structure. So it attacks you everywhere. I don't mean to say that as a sales slogan for the offense, but it's free of any confinement and constraints. It just wants to go at where you're trying to be weak. Where you want to give me a 6-man box, I'm going to I'm going to devastate your 6-man box. Not just because I have the numbers game, but I'll pull guys in space. I'll create extra number game down there. I'm going to force you to bring that guy down into the box. And I'll hit you on the outside deep when I do, because I'm not just going to be that old school spread guy that's just going to be here and here and here. I've got a way to get you every time. And if you think you can lean to me a certain way and take away this, but appear to take away that, I'll just come back and hit you with the trick play. Then I'll have your head really spinning at that point. Then I'll come back with a fake trick play on the next play. Then I'll have your head just about ready to brain fall out of its skull cap. You're so confused as to what's going on. So I love that he mentioned it this way. I see it the same way on tape with with Grubb and his approach. That I'm going to try to go everywhere here. I'm going to try to hit you on every spot of the field. Just show me where you're wanting to lean. Where do you want to lean? I'll go there. You going to lean this way? I'll go there. Go back? I'll hit you in the front. You're going to lean up? I'm going to go behind you. It's really within the structure of his play calling, and you see it play after play where Washington's not just here, 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 here. It's, it's like a jazz musician, where you almost just don't know where the beat's going. Just like, whoa, we're doing all this, huh? And over here? Okay. It's pretty impressive to watch, but it's one of the reasons I really love what he's going to bring, I think, here to this offense. Another Tyler cut here, bringing up a term that I'm going to now bring into my vernacular called stick conscientiousness. Listen for the stick conscientiousness reference here from T-Lock.
I mean, there's times where we might be going after the sticks, and there's other times where we're not even worried about the sticks. The sticks is just another yard line. And there's times where we might go for an explosive and it's 3rd and 3. Like, you just never know. And I think that's the cool part about the offense is that you have things where, okay, if this guy's open, take it. But if not, this guy behind him is probably going to have a great chance to be open to create an explosive. And so I think that sometimes if we focus more on just getting to the sticks, it's easy for teams to be able to pick up on 3rd down. They're more stick conscientious. But when you end up putting yourself in a position where you have somebody that's getting to the sticks, you don't know which player's getting to the sticks. But then you got other guys that's playing off of that route to be able to create an explosive. So if teams take away the sticks, the explosive opens himself up. And if they take away the explosive, the sticks open up.
One of the reasons that UW was able, as Ryan Grubb tried to seek out to do about once every 7 or 8 plays, create an explosive play on the football field, is because he's not a spread concept guy who goes dink, 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 dink. Okay, go deep. It's that in my dinks, dink, 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 and dunks, my dink, and dink, 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 and dunks, is that I'm always going to have an offshoot player looking there to take the top of the defense off. And that there's always going to have an instruction in my quarterback's mind that you don't have to play it safe here, that you don't have to play it to the sticks. You don't have to be stick conscientious, as Lockett said. And I will say there were a lot of times on the All-22 tape and watching in recent years of this offense, you're at a 3rd and 8. You feel a lot of the routes end up sitting around 3rd and 8. You're in a 3rd and 11. Here's the route. You're 3rd and 5. The route, you got 2-3 routes here, where you also then would feel at times defenses lean in to where, as Tyler's talking about, this is why I think he kind of purposely spoke about this so specifically, is that this is something that he's encountered here with the offense in recent years, is that they would call a little bit too many of those routes to the sticks and then become too predictable to the defense. Does it sound familiar about the prior offense? And the defense would then squish in those routes to those stick spots, especially if you've got those key 3rd down spots. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 12. Let's keep three flat defenders like we have them in kind of a quarters coverage at the sticks, and they'll just hang right in on there, and then you got like a line of defenders there to take anything away. And you can run any route concepts you want, but they're just going to squat down on the sticks because they're like, yeah, it's all window dressing. You're going to end up with still 3 of your guys ending up right in our laps here when it's all said and done. And I think Tyler was referencing just a little bit of that now here, where that becomes not quite the same way it once was.